Hello, I'm Kaiser and welcome to Moose Reads. Before I get started, I just want to say that the opinions that I give here are my own opinions. They are extremely subjective. If I dislike a book, it is not a reflection on the author, and it is not a reflection on people who do like it. Different people have different tastes, and that's okay. Today, I will be reviewing The Boyfriend Game by Stella Starling. This is an adult contemporary queer romance. The description says, Carter Olson never expected he'd get a chance to date his older brother's best friend, Rip Taylor. Wished for it? Yes. Fantasized about it? Possibly too much. But ever thought it would actually happen? Not in a million years, since Rip is straight. But even if it's just to try and win a gay game show, having Rip for a boyfriend, even a temporary/pretend one, is still the best thing to happen to Carter in, well, ever. Especially because Rip's so good at it. Amazingly good, actually. So good that Carter starts to hope that maybe it won't have to end once the show's over. If there are two things Rip Taylor lives for, they're having fun and being there for his friends. So a trip to Vegas to help surprise his best friend's girlfriend with a big flashy proposal sounds awesome. And even more fun, his besties plan to try and win some prize money for the wedding by signing the two of them up as contestants on the boyfriend game. The game show is sponsored by the gay dating app Beloved, and Rip is all in. He may be straight, but he's never been narrow, and when circumstances, aka a best friend who can't hold his tequila, mean that little Carter Olson gets roped into being Rip's fake boyfriend instead, that's almost better, because who wouldn't be able to be a convincing boyfriend to Carter? After all, Carter's hella sweet. Kind of adorable, actually. And really, really easy to get into character with. Winning the boyfriend game, Rip and Carter have it in the bag. I gave this one 3 stars. I really enjoyed it while I was reading it, but it isn't the kind of book I'm likely to read again. So, I have to admit that fake dating is one of my all-time favorite tropes. I'm also not averse to brother's best friend, and I'm a sucker for a good game show. So this one ticked a lot of boxes right out of the gate. The fake dating doesn't really last very long, though. At least, not really. Carter spends most of the book worried that this boyfriend thing will only last for the duration of the game show, but even he can acknowledge that they are actually dating for at least that long. Also, the game show kind of sucks. It's there, it's serviceable, but the book seems more interested in glossing over it than engaging with it. It was a little disappointing. All the same, it had just enough of both to keep my interest. It was a lot of fun, and it scratched the rom-com itch that I was feeling that Kiss and Tell didn't quite satisfy. Most of my issues with it are minor nitpicks that are entirely a matter of personal preference, like the aforementioned eroding of the setup. Rip was also a bit too much of a clueless frat boy character for me, who said win entirely too often, but those certainly didn't make much of a negative impact. This book also suffered from another minor problem that I see more often than I'd like, which is the one friend that doesn't belong. The reason they're in Vegas is that Carter's brother Cameron wants to propose to his girlfriend, so on their second night a bunch of their friends fly down to join them. But one of the friends apparently has been harboring a one-sided thing for Rip and is clearly homophobic, so she starts causing some trouble. Over the course of the scene and the rest of the book, the friend becomes more aggressive toward Carter, and everyone else, who have supposedly been friends with her for some time, become more aggressive toward her in return. I'm not necessarily going to say having one friend that nobody seems to like is unrealistic, but it kind of annoys me when there's no explanation for why that person is around in the first place. It feels a lot like the heavy hand of the author, which I don't think should be obvious as a reader. On the more positive side, I thought the characters had good chemistry and felt believable as people who had known each other their whole lives. Carter is extremely anxious about how things are going to turn out, and his doubts gave me the exact kind of gut wrench that I enjoy from fake dating stories. The overall tone of the book was very lighthearted, and it felt nice reading it. That being said, the one real complaint I have is that the third act twist was entirely forced, and it didn't work for me. But that is obviously in the realm of spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, now is the time to pause or close the video. For everyone else, let's go over it. They sign on to this game show as fake boyfriends, so the third act twist comes when a couple of jealous and bitter characters decide to publicly reveal that they aren't a real couple. It felt like this could have been pretty easily resolved by just opening their mouths and telling what is more or less the truth, that they've known each other for their whole lives but only just started dating. But it was a stressful situation, so I'll forgive them. That is not the problem. The problem is that during this reveal, a miscommunication makes both of them hesitate to comfort the other. Then they get voted off the show, since obviously no one is rooting for the fake couple. And afterward, desperate for the real relationship they developed to not be done, Carter asks, is it really over? For reasons that really make no sense to me, Rip assumes he's talking about the game show and answers yes. I said Rip was a bit too much of a clueless frat boy for my tastes, but he wasn't quite that clueless, so I just didn't buy the twist. But we have to have one, and we have to have the big romantic gesture after, so Rip got hit with a stupid stick. Other than that, it was fine. I enjoyed reading it, and if the setup sounds like your kind of story, I'd probably recommend it. If you like this video, I hope you'll watch more in the future. Thanks for watching this one. Bye!